Well, it has just got light. First light, I'm on the canal, and we're going to have a very quick session before the boats. That's the mission. Try and catch a bream or two before the boats arrive, because once they start coming, it'll be game over. I had probably 10 minutes lure fishing on the canal yesterday, and in that time I had 6 boats and got double boated. It was a complete waste of time, but the fish are there. We're in November now, the fishing's hard, the leaves are coming down, it's getting colder, fish are starting to shoal up, and we've had a lot of cold rain and everything, but the fish are still there if you can beat the boats. So that's today's mission. I'm up at first light. It's literally just got light, just gone 7 in the morning. We're going to set up a couple of rigs. There's a marina here that I know holds bream. Let's see if we can catch a couple before we get interrupted by the boats. If I can catch any more than 2, that'd be brilliant, but 2 nice bream before the boats, job done, mission accomplished. So we're virtually there now. Just try and pick a peg. Shouldn't be anyone else here, only idiots like me come out this time in the morning in November. But hopefully catch a few fish. I've got worms, maggots, casters, half a bag of sonar baits lake, and that's all we need. So 2 top kits, might only set the one up. So but anyway, we're at the marina now. I'll just turn around here so you can see it. You see all the boats there? So anywhere in the middle here will do. So let's get set up and catch some bream. Right then, we've just about got enough light to plumb up now. So might have been here a little bit too early. But I've just quickly plumbed up 5 sections in front, which is about, I don't know, 6 to 7 metres. And I'm just plumbing up a swim. I was going to go 11 or 13 metres. I'm going to go 13 metres, just to create a bit of distance. There's hardly any difference in depth. I just think if I go 11, I'm more likely to get a boat go across it than 13, so that's what I'm going to do. It's probably 20 metres to the boats, but I know it just goes up and up and up, and there's very little advantage to fishing against those boats. So early in the day, maybe once the boats are coming thick and fast, that's where you'd be fishing, but I'm not going to bother doing that today. So in that nice little shadow there, I'm going to feed 2 swims over there. I'm just going to feed the one, ground bait, worms and casters. You can even hear the cockerels. There you are, right on cue. Just got to adjust that a touch. A nice little pole roller there, if I can find it. There it is. The reason why I've chosen this bag is because it's easy to ship behind me more than anything else. So that's what we're going to use. Just going to set up one rig to start with. It's a 0.2 Pablo RWC blade, and I'm going to use the same rig at 7 metres and 13 metres. It's a foot deeper at 7 metres, so I just basically slide the float up a foot. But I like quite a nice long lash when I'm fishing 13 metres, so and I like a short lash when I'm fishing short, so it's perfect just to use the same rig. And it's just one of my little commando missions, so I don't want to set up a million top kits. I've got one more kit with 4 to 6 slick next to me, which I'm not going to use just yet. I'm going to kick off with 6 to 8 slick at the moment. Let's see how we get on. Yeah, so there's some big bream and perch and even chub and bits and bobs in this bit of canal, as most canals are. We don't know what we're going to hook. Big hybrids. So I'm going to go for 6 to 8. I've got a 16 hook on, 010 bottom, 6-inch 010 bottom. That's a Tipex mark from before, so it's, yeah, so that's perfect. And then my other depth is there, dead on there. I haven't got a back shot on yet, but we'll probably pop one on in a bit if we have to. It's nice and calm at the moment. The load of leaves to my left, I can imagine they'll be drifting down to see me later. And that's it, and the rig just takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 number 11s. And that's it. 012 main line, 010 hook length, 16 hook, and 6 to 8 slick elastic. Hopefully that's ample. Now I have got one confession. Because I haven't actually been on a commando mission for a while, and I've took a load of stuff out when I was on the Thames Festival. I have brought my cup. I haven't brought my cupping kit. So this is my cupping kit today. I've got 4 pole pots on a spare top kit. I don't know what else to do other than go home and get it. So I've got 2 cupping kits and they're both at home. Yeah, note to self, remember your cupping kit next time. So but I think I've got everything else, but that's how we're going to put in at the start. Either that, I'm going to have to sort of tape that to this, and I don't know how. So 4 toss spots and 1 big toss spot holding the top kit. I.e. me. Right, I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to do this, but let's see. I've got, this is half a bag of Sonobates Lake. Smells absolutely beautiful. So let's just put a few casters in each. And a few maggots. I don't want a lot of bait at the start anyway, just a pinch in each. And a little bit of worm. Just a smidgen. This is for the short line. Just a little bit of short worm. Now I'm going in the deepest water. And I'm just going to cap it all off with loose ground bait. This is the most bizarre thing I've ever done. I know, I'm a plonker. Good old Johnny. So we're going to pop that in at the start. It would normally be half to a full pot. Who needs a cupping kit, eh? So level with the base of that green boat. I'm just going to touch them on the water. Give them a tap. There we are. So there's only a smidgen of ground bait in there. And then on the long one, let's get all the pole together. We're going to put quite a bit more in, 2 or 3 times that. So on the long one, let's go again. I've got a good half a pint of casters, which is ample. I've got a 1/4 pint of red maggots, a few whites in there, but I'm just going to be putting reds on the hook. And then what, 1/4 kilo worms, if that. And I've also brought some red worms. So this first one, I'm just going to loosely press it in. I like to press it in anyway, unless the canal's towing. I like to pull it in loose. It's only 3 foot on that deepest peg as well. So I just like it to sit on the silt. I sometimes think if you feed it in a ball on this canal, and we're on the Oxford Canal, it's extremely silty. Feed a ball, it will sink in the silt, I'm sure. But if you feed it loose, it will just sit nicely on the silt. So where were we? We're in the middle of that shadow of the blue boat. It's a nice visible bit to see. Again, just rest it on, give it a good tap. Yeah, it's actually not a bad way of feeding. honest, I'm not a plonker really. And then we'll just put some more ground bait in. There's more than enough worms and everything in. To be honest, it's only for the initial feed anyway. I need a pole pot. After that, I just expect to use a big toss pot. So there we are. I don't expect to be using all this ground bait either. It's nice and damp, fluffy. I haven't even needed to riddle this. It mixes up beautiful. As far as bream go as well, I'm not bothered about a black mix. Just a natural brown mix has always done well for me with bream. And this canal, we've had a load of rain, so it's got some colour in anyway. So it's not ideal for getting your cupping kit, but you know, not everyone's got a cupping kit, have they? So we'll do one more lot of ground bait. Like a load of flukes, isn't it? Mongolian nose pipes. No? You probably don't even know what I'm on about, do you? My mum used to love Mongolian nose pipes. Not sure what the relevance of that is, but there you go. And it's starting to rain a bit. This wasn't in the forecast. I'm sure it will clear up. It's supposed to be quite a nice day today. Surprisingly mild. So that's it, we've made our bed. A little bit of soft ground bait. Let's pop these 3 sections parallel with the towpath. These are quite small dendras. So I'm going to kick off with one of those, just nip the head off. Just a tail of a worm, quite a big bit of worm. In my experience on this marina, they do like a big bit of worm. So and then leaves are already drifting down to me. We're going to kick off on a short line, straight down the deepest water. My theory is these bream dropping down the deepest water when there's no boats, in the middle of the night and everything like that, and then they disappear up the shelves to the far side or under the boats and in the wide bits once the boat traffic descends. We'll kick off on a big bit of worm. I'm sure I could kick up. Oh, something's just top there. I think it was a silverfish. You often see zander striking in this marina. They're here to stay. The matches have gone on here anyway. Oh, that was a bite. Go on then. Go on, 1, 2, 3. Oh, sailed away. I wasn't sure if that was a perchy bite actually. Missed it. I counted as well. That's a good sign anyway. So I've not put a lot of bait on this short line. I'm going to dink a few casters over it. Maybe a bit more worm. We'll see how they respond really. But that's a great sign to have a bite. First put. Fully expecting the first few fish to be perch, but there's often bream. If you're going to catch a bream, you'll catch it immediately. So I was thinking a bit of worm or 1 or 2 red maggots are the most instant bream baits. Put anything too small on, obviously you're as likely to catch a little fish as you are a big one. So slightly more selective, red maggot or a bit of worm. A little bit of a twitch. I'm just fishing it about 1.5 inches over depth. Oh, something had a little wobble at that on the way down. As soon as I twitched it. No, I tend to twitch it a lot for perch. And I don't twitch it loads for bream really. A bit of movement doesn't do any harm. I'm not going to lose feed just yet because I know there's a bit of bait there already. But a bit of pitter patter of casters going in will be nice. I've got some beautiful casters. I've turned these myself. Absolutely beautiful casters. And looking on that bit of worm, it looks perfect as well. Pop that in my choppy tub. Put 2 maggots on instead. Top and tail 2 maggots. Not the freshest of maggots, but they'll do. Canal's already towing actually, so some boats are moving already unfortunately. We've got, well, an hour or 2 I think before the boats descend, and then it'll probably be game over. 10 o'clock at the latest I imagine. But that's fine, I've only got 2 or 3 hours fishing anyway. There's some nice big roach in this bit, hybrids. There's not loads of little fish. I'm not sure why. It just seems to be full of quality fish, this marina. Probably 10 minutes on this short line, and then we'll quickly go across over the ground bait. Definitely go bang 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 and catch bream pretty quick, but I was expecting to catch a quick bream on this deeper spot as well. If you was fishing later in the day in a match, for instance, that starts at say 10 in the morning, you probably want to feed your 11 or 13 metres through and go straight on it for a bream, because within 10 minutes I'd fully expect the boat. So that's just rocking now. It's going to the left now. So there's definitely some traffic on the canal already. It's not what we want, is it? In my experience in this marina, they do like a big hook bait, but we've had a lot of rain and cold water going in, so you know, every day is different. You might find smaller hook baits that are better today, but usually a big worm or a double maggot or a couple of casters, that's what they normally snaffle. Right, last throw of the dice. We've just got a couple of red worms on, and that's buried straight away. Oh, and I missed it. 2 red worms buried straight away. It's a bit perchy, that one. It literally settled and buried. Ooh, bit of a lift. And it's going. 1, 2, 3. Go a bit longer. There you are. There we are. First fish. Oh, little skimmer. Yeah, that's what given me the silly bites. Little skimmer. Oop. On the red worm. There we are. First fish on a red worm. Let's go in and try and catch another. I'm itching to go on that longer line there. We'll try that again. Couple of red worms. Here's my little tub of red worms. There we are. Just a nice little ball. Pop 2 on again. Don't know why red worms are so good, but they are. So, perfect. That's 1 or 2 more fish here, then I'm itching to go on that long line. Really am. Chunk of leaves there, that's it. Right, we're off the mark. It's under. 1, 2, 3. There we are. Alright, let's get on that long line. What we got? Perch. Thought that was a perch that I missed. What I'm going to do is just start dinking some casters by hand over that shorter line, if I can reach. Slide that float up. Or down, shall we say. Pop a big worm on. Make sure you get all this rubbish off. There's a little bit of worm there on the line. It's important to get that off. There, that's gone. Just want a nice big worm out of these dendries. Biggish, there you are. So just going to snap the very head off and then hook that bit. So good on that vermi chop worm tub, and then I've pushed the rig down already. I'm just going to use that as a marker for throwing. Perfect. And ship out long. If I'm going to catch a bream, this is my banker on this line. Come on, bream. Right in the middle of that blue shadow from that boat. Come on then. Probably about 2 to 3 inches over depth. Big bit of worm, 16 up. I want this to wallop straight on with a bream. I'm going to keep throwing some casters on that short line, and we'll probably just kin the pot on this long line to begin with. Now, in my experience, they pull quite a bit in this canal as well, which is why I've got that 6 to 8 elastic on. Oh, first little dink. Probably a perch. But come on, let's be optimistic. Bream or perch? Ooh, ooh, ooh. I would say it's a perch. The way it's playing with it. Ooh, ooh, tell you what.
Might be. It's a chunky fish, whatever it is. Oh, wow. Hey up. That wasn't... I didn't realise he'd shot out over there. Probably a big hybrid, this. Oh, it's a big roach, I think. Is that a roach? It's a roach. It's a roach. Wow. That's a roach. Take the stick out. Wowee. That is a roach and a half. Look at that. I don't mind that for your first fish. Let's get them leaves off. Wow. That is a proper roach as well. You can see the worm in its mouth. Look at that for my first fish. Absolute stunner. It's got to be close to a pound, that. Not very fat, but big. Made up already. Well, we'll definitely repeat that. Nice big bit of worm. I was not expecting that big roach. Casters on that short line. And I'll hold it nice and tight as it descends so it falls nice and slowly. The tip on this float is 1mm plastic, which is about perfect for a canal. When you're fishing sort of maggots, casters, a bit of worm. If I was just worm fishing, maybe you could go a bit thicker. But we are in November now, so it is, you know, more wintry and everything. So the more sensitive you can make your rig, the better. And that played with it for a little bit before it shot under. Ooh, ooh. 1, 2, 3. There you are. Second fish, and that feels much more like a skimmer. In fact, I've seen it. Brilliant. It's hanging out there, so I don't want to ship back too soon. Put too much pressure on him. Or her. Very pale. two looks too good fish. But he is pale. Catching all these reeds as well. Yeah, couple of pounds. Very nice. And he snuffled that. We're in business. Hopefully there's some nice big dark ones as well. I do find that the big ones here are quite pale. I lost my hook whilst unhooking that fish. I'm just putting on a slightly bigger size 16, that's a 16 MXB2, which is a nice hook for a worm, and it means I can fish double baits. And the fact I've had that fish on a big bit of worm just gives me the confidence to stick to a biggish hook, which is perfect for worm, that 16 MXB2, but it's also good for double maggot, double caster. Probably won't put a single caster on there. And before we go any further, just keep throwing there. I might, next put in, I'll dink a few casters on this long line as well. So we've had a big roach and a big skimmer, 2 drops. Someone had a little nudge at that on the way down as well. A little bubble just came up. I think we're going to have a few fish. You just got to be... These are very timid fish though, so we don't want to lose any, and we don't want to spook them by crashing bait on their heads. So I'm just going to rattle a few casters in, just pepper them in with a little toss pot, but I don't want to scare these fish away. Let's just see how many of them we can catch before the boats ruin the day. These canals are full of fish, but once a few boats start going up and down, they become really hard to catch. I don't begrudge the boats, because if it weren't for the boats we wouldn't have a canal to fish, would we? Oh, go on, go on. Ooh, there's a big wobble. But you've got to be patient with these bream though. You don't want to strike too soon and bump one, because they'll just go. I think bream are some of the most skittish, sort of timid fish going. It's easy to catch a few early ones, but then they soon bugger off once you've spooked one or bumped one. Go on then. Whoop. There we are, that's a bream. That's a bream. These fish definitely pull in this canal. A lot of people say bream don't fight, but in my experience the ones in this marina bloody well do. A few of them have a bit of hybrid in them as well. It's a good fish. It's a very good fish. Oh yeah. Quite surprisingly clear. See him right under the surface. Bigger than the last one. Yeah, you've got to be close to £3 that one. Again, very pale. Yeah, you can see that worm. So we've not fed anything yet. Brilliant. We've not topped up that long line. I think we need to put a billet bait in if we're going to hold these fish. Brilliant. Made up already. It was worth getting up early, wasn't it? Well, I've took all those silly pots off now and we're just going to have the one. I'm going to put another dollop of chopped worm and some casters on that short line. I've been dinking some by hand anyway. Let's be positive on that short line, because we know they're on the long line anyway. So let's fill it in a lot more positive on the shorter line as our throwaway swim. It's nice to have somewhere you can attack. Push. So we'll pop the pole together and we'll put a medium toss pot on and leave it attached to this top kit. Let's put a medium one on, and we're just going to dink a few casters in on there, maybe a pinch of worm. Oh, nearly broke the hook off. Let's check that, that's all. Another big worm. Not quite so big, this one. Just break the top off, hook it in the tear. There we are. Right round the pole tip. So I'm going to put a little, because we've caught on worm, they obviously want a bit of worm. They should put a little dollop of worm in, just a little bit on there, and a dozen casters. That'll do. And carefully ship out. So I've just toss potted a little bit of worm and caster in, just a small amount. I've got to keep them mouths fed, but I don't want to crash bait in and scare the fish off. So it's a fine balancing act with these bream, but we've had 3 quality fish already, and that little skimmer short and a perch. I'm already made up with that. My target was 2 bream, wasn't it? We've caught that. A near pound roach wasn't part of the plan, but very, very, very welcome. So far, so good. Ooh. Let's sure what that is. It's not a bream. It's a chunky fish. Skimmer, maybe. Another big roach. What we got? Hybrid. Very nice. Well, we can carry on with worm, and if this was a match I certainly would, but Let's have a gamble. Let's have an experience. Put 2 casters on. I wouldn't do this in a match. I'd just stick with the worm because I know it's working. But on these sessions, it's nice to experiment. So 2 casters back to back. I'm sure that slime's off the line. We'll pop a few more casters in the pot. No worm this time. Sometimes I'll put worm in, sometimes I won't. We'll just wet the pot just to make sure they stick. Chip out carefully without spilling them. So, a perch, a little skimmer, a hybrid, a big roach, and 2 very pale bream. Scatter those. I'm going to drop them in from a bit more of a height this time, just to create a bit more of an area. Just throw a few liberally on that short line. If we don't get a bite on this, we'll go straight back onto worm. Sometimes then bigger fish will have a caster when they won't have a worm, so we'll mix it up. Ooh, straight away. 1, 2, 3. Oh, fresh head it. Oh, well, that was encouraging anyway. Double caster, it buried. I see we can try a single caster as well. I do like catching quality fish on double caster. So the thing is with double caster, you know it's not going to be a little fish. It's going to be sort of 3 ounces minimum. And that just buried, didn't it? Wibble wobble, jelly on the plate. Well, I missed a bite on double caster. Laid it back in, nothing happened, so I've just changed my casters. Gone back out again with another pincher caster and a little pinch of worm again. And I've actually dropped it probably 18 inches to the left of my feed. I don't want to always fish right in the middle of my feed. I will try and fish in the periphery of it as well sometimes. See, ooh, that's a bite. There we are. Oh, bumped him. That was a bream. That shot under. He was on for a short while. Was it a bream or a perch? Don't know, but it smashed it, didn't it? Bugger. Try that again. Good fish that was. Fish there. Luckily that wasn't in the middle of where I've been feeding it. It was on the side. I actually just pricked a fish then. I waited and waited before striking, and it was on for a second and it came off. No slime on the line, so it could have been anything. But that was on double caster. Ooh, double caster again, and that was a dink straight away again. I'm fishing about 18 inches to the left of where I've put most of my bait in. That's the way I'm dragging the fish. Ooh. Missed that one. The line was tightening up as it was going to the right. 3 red worms. What bream could refuse those, eh? A few more casters in the pot. Feels like there's a few fish there, you know. And a few people waking up from their boats now. Flick it out, just diagonally away from my main area of feed now. I'm going to try and catch an odd one around the periphery, and then we'll drop it right in the middle as well every now and again. We've got 3 red worms on a 16 now, so we'll just see. Let's mix it up. I like to experiment on these sessions. Like I say, if it was a match though, I wouldn't have come off that big worm. Don't come off a successful bait really, but these days are what I use to experiment, you know. Okay, no signs there, so let's just bang it right in the middle of the hot spot. I'm laying it in sideways because it's quite clear and I want to catch their eye on the way down. If I was foul hooking fish, then obviously I'd lower it straight down, but I'm not sure that's going to be a problem today. Ooh. Hey, oh, that's a big fish. That is a big fish. It's on 3 red worms. I had to wait a bit for that. It's definitely a bream. I think. Well, it's definitely a big fish anyway. Not seen him come up to the top yet. Oh, wow. Oh yeah. Big old schnotter. Could use my puller kit. In fact, I might have to. It's getting a bit bronzer. He's definitely £3, isn't he? Yeah, anyway, there's a bit of the red worm there. Definitely worth a look and admire. Look at that, absolutely immaculate fish. And what we're going to do, I'm going to I've baited up and got the rig the right depth for my short swim, but I'm going to put a nice dollop of worm and caster on my long swim and just give it 5 minutes. So I'm going to bait up long and then quickly come back and fish my short pole swim. So we'll pop that in. A nice dollop of worm and caster there. I'll come back and have a quick look on that short line, just to give them 5 minutes. 3 bream, a hybrid, a skimmer and a great big roach. Let's just see if we can catch one on this short line. If we don't get one now, we won't spend too much time on it the rest of the session really. A bit disappointed we haven't had one in this deep line yet. Got, I think it's a perch on the short line. Feels a bit perchy, staying deep. Yeah, chunky perch. I don't feel like there's any bream on that short line. Nice fish though. So let's get out, back out long where I put that little dollop of bait. Single big philodendron, as good as anything. Even though I had that last one on a bunch of red worm. I did wait a little bit for that bite, so I think there is likely to snaffle that in. Oh, something big just rolled then. What that was. Yeah, that was the first little blink. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Bream. I think it's a bream. Wow, where's he going? Oh, he's just wrapped round him, I think. That's why. I don't think he's fouled up. Definitely wrapped round him. Nice and low. I think he's unwrapped himself now. Yeah, he was wrapped round his fin for a little bit, but it's definitely in the mouth, isn't he? Mega. We'll call that one a skimmer. Wow, where's he going? Is that a bream? When he shot off under that boat then I thought it was a chub. Absolutely shot off when I hooked him. Feels a bit more breamy now. I'm use my fuller kit for this. It's got a bit of hybrid in him. I can see him 2 foot down. Can't believe how clear the canal is actually, with all that rain we've had. It's going round and round in circles, this one. Oh. What an angry fish. Who says bream don't fight? You alright? This is like the angriest bream in the world, this. It's just round him. Whew. Huh? Where? Oh, at Stratford? Stratford, yeah. Yeah, on the river. Oh, look at it. His eyes all gone. Look. Oh, yeah. Look, 2 pincer marks there. Yeah. Someone's definitely had a go at him. Poor thing. I'll move this out of the way for you. Oh, you after the bream? Anything. Yeah. Yeah, and you. I hope you catch a few. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Well, hopefully this will make a nice one.
What I like about it is somewhere I know. The trouble is, most of them are
yeah. I try and mix it up.
Yeah.
So, oh, good. Well, I hope you have a few.
Oh.
I'm gonna have a wee.
Yeah.
See ya. If it keeps towing, I might have to push the float up a bit more as well and fish a bit more for over depth. So a heavy worm will be better now, just to anchor to the bottom a little bit more. We'll just trundle it through at the moment, just edging it through a bit slower than the tow. Ooh, there we go, straight away. Oh. Chunky one. Decent one, isn't he? I'll catch you that in a match. Decent perch. Yeah, stop towing again now. So someone was coming through the lock further down the canal. Well, we've already caught a few fish, haven't we? So I'm quite keen to experiment. So I might put another little nugget of ground bait in and see if that does anything. In fact, I might just make a nice little stodgy ball with some casters and worm in. It's what I'd do on a commercial. I'm sure it'd work here on the canal today. Oh, here comes the boat right over me. Swim. Thought one was coming. Right over me swim. That might be the end of that. So it's definitely right to put a little bit of bait in, I think, and just see. So what I'm going to do, dollop that in, and a handful of ground bait, a few casters, and make a nice little stodge. I knew one was coming. So we've got a little stodgy ball there, a few casters, bit of worm. It's going to go down. So plop that little ball in, level there, go down, and we'll plop that straight over the top of it. A little bit of a worm head. Come on. That's a bite. Ooh, missed him. Not sure how I missed that. Ooh, straight under again. Yeah. Skimmer, I think. Missed a bite, dropped it straight down, and walloped straight back under. I'm going to put another little nugget of ground bait in, and a big bit of worm this time. Let's put another little dollop of our mix in, just lightly squeeze. So it's damp, it'll go down and just explode straight away. Well, I'd love to catch one more good bream, maybe two if I'm greedy, and that's more than enough to satisfy me this morning. I can go home and carry on doing my work. I've got quite a lot of admin to be doing. Just put a tiny little segment of worm on. Last fish was a little perch. Let's just see if they'll have a little bit of worm. There's a guy just came out on the boat opposite. I don't know if it's a coincidence or not, but I've not had a bite since he's opened the back of the boat up and said hello. That fish is definitely gone now. What have we got there? Roach. Little hybrid again. The better fish have definitely gone for a bit. Roach. Nice big roach as well. Perch. Pop another little nugget in. Come on, you breathe. Hiya. Pretty lovely. So come on then, one more fish, one more good fish. Something over that big dollop of worm, straight under. Boom, there we are. I think it's a perch. Feels a bit perchy. Another boat coming. He looks like he's going to be going around me. 10, 9, 8, 10, 6. Definitely looks like he's going to try and go around me. We'll park up. I haven't got a clue what this boat's doing. Oh yeah, another boat coming. So that's me being double boated. I think that'll be it. It's not going to happen, is it? Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Let's start slowly backing away. I think that pretty much concludes the day. Hiya. Hiya. Yeah, I've caught them all now. I can go home now. Well, there we are. Two boats passed in front of me. Probably won't get another fish. Certainly not another quality fish for another hour or so. So let's wrap up now and get home and have something to eat. And that boat there looks like he's just about to come out of the marina and turn around as well. So definitely time to pack away. Well, there we are. That's exactly what you can expect if you get up early and beat the boats. We'll put that old warrior back. That one's had a few little puncture wounds from a predator. There we are. Got some nice bream. That's the best one. Cracker. And a few skimmers. A lovely big roach. Look at that for a roach. Pop you back straight away as well. Cracking roach. But yeah, lovely bag of fish. Plenty of bonus fish there to keep any canal angler happy. But you must beat those boats.